We have now got Michelle Kinane on Skype. Good afternoon, Michelle.
Good afternoon, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. And as I said, what you don't know about this kind of thing, you know everything about this kind of thing. Tom is absolutely loving this part of the show. Absolutely loving this part of the show. Let's talk about the October book 2013 and the one that went for 5 million guineas.
The Bay Filly by Galileo out of Alluring Park. Yeah, I mean, she was absolutely incredible. I mean, it was pretty hard to fault her. You know, she was the queen, as they call her, the queen of Book 1. And plus, you know, she's coupled with a beautiful pedigree. You know, she's obviously a full sister to Woz, who won the Oaks in 2010, and Woz herself, of course, sold at the Book 1 sale for 1.2 million.
That's gone in. Sorry. In terms of who's bought that, that's gone to Qatar Racing, has it?
She's gone to, yeah. They have a 2-year-old full sister as well, who sold last year for, was it 1.5 million. She's been named Al Jassisia, and she's with Qatar as well. And this filly as well is also gone to Qatar. She'll be trained by Andre Fabre.
Yeah, Andre Fabre. No, yeah.
Don't worry, I would have got that completely wrong anyway, so don't worry about that. I would have pronounced him something completely different. You wanted to talk about a couple of lots, Tom?
Yeah, certainly. I was quite surprised to see, I think there was 4 or 5 of the top 10 sort of most valuable sales there were yearlings by Oasis Dream. Now, does that surprise you? Because when you're looking at the potential for these horses in the future, really you're looking at staying pedigrees, your Galileos, your Monjos, but surprisingly enough, Oasis Dream has been bred with mares such as Dare Me, obviously trying to bring the pedigree in on the mares side of things. Does this surprise you, or was it interesting for you at all, the Oasis Dream yearlings?
No, I liked the Oasis Dream mating actually. He was a very nice colt actually. I saw him, and very, very nice colt actually.
I know that you did go down to Tattersalls, didn't you, this year? How was it being there, you know, when the auction was going round in the ring?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, for me, like, you know, to witness one, top lot with the colts, the full brother Secret Gesture, who of course went for 3.6, that was absolutely incredible. But to see it twice with that filly was absolutely mind-blowing. Like, you know, it was absolutely incredible. It was my first being there, and, you know, it was just...
I bet. The other thing I was going to say is, obviously, you know, we can look at sheets of paper full of pedigree, and you can make your own decision about which horses, you know, going to have the biggest price tag. But what influence does it have when you're actually sitting there in the ring and visually seeing the horse? You know, people won't even think about bidding for a horse until they've seen it in front of them and they look at the way it's put together and the way it walks. That must have quite a big pointer on you know what price the horse is going to go for, not just what it says on paper.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, the physical point, like, I learned an awful lot with Johnny on the physical point of horses, you know, how they walk, you know, the way they walk, really. It's more of the individual, really, than the pedigree. I mean, pedigree is important, but when you look at the individual, you have to like them as well, you know, they have to walk well, you know, they have to look the part as well.
Certainly.
I wanted to move on to Michelle, and I've been interested to get your views on the first season sires to start in 2014. Obviously, you mentions here about St Nicholas Abbey, but obviously that's going to be put on hold now, I would guess.
Yeah, he's after suffering another setback. He's after getting mild laminitis in one of his near fours, and you know, I don't know whether he'll make it now to stand that stud. Hopefully he will for 2014, but you know, this is really after putting him back a bit. And you know, I do like him as a stallion prospect. I mean, his dam is a half sister to Ballingarry, Aristotle, Starbird. You know, 3 individual Group 1 winners. And you know, even though they didn't make much of an impact at stud, I do think that he can. St Nicholas Abbey could turn that around. I mean, Monsieur now, you know, Motivator. You know, he's now the second leading sire in Europe. Of course, courtesy to Trev. And Authorised has now got 3 individual Group 1 winners this year. So, you know, that question about Monsieur's ability to produce a stallion son, I think it's kind of lifting a little bit now. So I'm more confident now about his future as a sire.
I must say, I agree, Michelle. I think St Nicholas Abbey could be the next good thing.
Can I just also say that we was looking for the names, and we couldn't believe some of these: Alcazim, Camelot, Dawn Approach, Declaration of War, obviously 1 probably, Afar, Intello, Lethal Force, Reckless Abandon. I mean,
it's almost a shame that some of these horses have been retired. There, you know, they were that prolific racehorses. But out of those, which one do you think, or are you with St Nicholas Abbey in terms of the next breeding prospect?
St Nicholas Abbey, but I've always stuck with Camelot as well.
Okay.
I've always liked Camelot. It's just, you know, I think he's been unlucky. You know, he's been unlucky. He's an unlucky horse really, because, you know, people have always sort of kind of downed him a little bit. You know, I think he was in the same year as Frankel, and of course Frankel set the bar extremely high, and everyone expected this horse to, you know, be right up there with Frankel. And, you know, I mean, a triple classic winner, he is a very good horse, but he's let himself down this year. You know, a lot of people are counting on him to, you know, perform better this year. You know,
it's obviously a big shame that he didn't really come back from
Michelle, out of the runners first season size next year, have their runners in 2014, you know, Zebedee, Rip Van Winkle, Camphor Cliffs. What out of those, Paco Boy, which ones out of those did you like the look of their stocks at Tattersalls?
I've always stuck with Zebedee. Zebedee, I think, you know, I think he could be a freshman sire for next year. He's absolutely, you know, his yearlings are selling through the roof. You know, I've always liked him. He stands for 5,000 up in Tallyho Stud in Mullingar. His yearlings at Tattersalls have been making 50,000, 60,000. He had one sell for, I think, was it 100,000, and another one sold for 200 and something thousand as well. And, you know, they're very, very popular yearlings, and they really look the part. So I'm sticking with Zebedee to go fairly far.
That's the one.
Can I ask you, I mean, I know you probably don't like to tip, but have you looked at the Racing Post Trophy today? And we're going to talk about it a little bit later on, but I mean, I like Century, but is there anything there that you like in that Racing Post Trophy later on?
There's something about Kingston Hill that...
Come on, Michelle. You've got it. You've got it.
Tell me why. Tell us why.
I don't know, I mean, he's unbeaten, and, you know, he was a good winner of the Group 3, was it the Group 3 Autumn Stakes? He won there a couple of weeks ago. And obviously, you know, he's the son of Master Craftsman, Coolmore sire. You know, if he wins this, I think Master Craftsman should have he should have the title of freshman sire. Yeah. He will join Intense Focus, of course, as the only first season sire to sire a Group 1 winner with their first 2-year-olds. So, I think I'll stick with Kingston Hill.
With Kingston Hill, Michelle.
I liked you up until that point, Michelle.
Michelle, with Kingston Hill, and this is a point that you'll appreciate, isn't he just the spitting image of Master Craftsman as well?
He is quite like him, yeah.
He is very much like Master. I think he's really...
He won't be after losing today.
Workman-like, is that what you mean?
Last thing, if I can put another question to you, Michelle. I don't know whether you've been looking forward at the 2-year-olds this season that, you know, we're going to be looking at maybe Oaks and Derby horses. At the moment, if you're going to shortlist one for the Derby, you're probably going to look at Australia, because I don't personally think on breeding Kingman will stay. And then on the Oaks side, I'm still got question marks over whether My Titania will stay, but I'd like to know whether you feel, you know, it's a Cedar Stars filly, but got Danehill on the dam side. I was wondering whether you feel that My Titania is going to get the 1.5 miles in the future.
I think a lot of Cedar Stars progeny, I think they might excel at 10 furlongs, but I do think we'll get horses at 12. And I've always believed that with Cedar Stars progeny, they will become better horses as 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. You know, I mean, his 2-year-olds now, I mean, every run seems to be improving with every run. Yeah. So it's obviously a big plus. And, you know, even at the sales, you know, you'd hear people talking about him, and a lot of people are confident that he can make it at stud. I mean, he's got the pedigree, he's got the race record, he's got the mares, he's got everything, you know. And I do think he can become a good sire. I don't know if he'll challenge Galileo now, but...
And I'm really sorry. I know we could talk all day because we were fascinated, both Tom and I and the panel, about this, and we'll definitely have you back on again. Thank you very much indeed for your time this afternoon, and I hope you have a lovely day. What's the weather like in Tipperary?
Very, very wet.
Well, you stay home, and hopefully you can watch the remainder of the show. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks a million, guys.
Take care.